The roar of the crowd was not just noise, it was prophecy. Under the blinding arena lights stood a man with a perfect record carved in violence and precision. 15 fights, 15 victories, 14 by devastating knockout. From Nigeria, carrying thunder in both fists and ice in his veins, rose a destroyer built for the heavyweight throne. Ranked number 5 in the world by the WBC and WBA, reigning NAF heavyweight champion out of Montreal, Canada, Arslanbek, the Lion Makhmudov entered every ring not simply to win, but to erase doubt with force. He was not marketed as hype, he was introduced as inevitability. Towering, relentless, stalking forward behind crushing pressure, Makhmudov embodied the nightmare every heavyweight secretly fears. The puncher who does not blink, does not back up, and does not forgive mistakes. When he stepped toward Dave Allen and later other challengers, the message was clear. Survive if you can, but understand that survival alone would feel like victory against a man whose right hand detonated like artillery. His uppercuts rose like guillotines from beneath the guard, and his overhand right traveled with malicious intent, seeking temples and jaws with frightening accuracy. Analysts spoke about his imposing size, his forward pressure, his hunger to move from contender to world-level threat, yet none of those words fully captured the tension he created once the bell rang. You could see opponents calculating distance, trying to operate on the outside, attempting to use reach and angles, but Makhmudov cut space like a predator in tall grass. One slip, one misjudged lean forward, and the Lion's uppercut would crash upward, snapping heads back, shaking legs, forcing desperate clinches. Referees hovered close, aware that the line between competitive contest and violent mismatch was razor thin. When he hurt a man, he did not rush wildly. He stalked, measuring, hammering with thunderous combinations that left even seasoned commentators momentarily speechless. There were rounds where it felt as though time itself held its breath, waiting for the inevitable collapse. And when knockdowns came, gloves grazing canvas, legs betraying balance, it was rarely a single punch but accumulated dread that forced the count. That is the aura a feared heavyweight carries, not just power but inevitability. Yet boxing is a theater of truth, and perfection is always hunted. Facing another unbeaten puncher, Makhmudov saw opportunity. The bout was meant to solidify his reputation as a rising force, a proving ground that would silence skeptics and inch him closer to the elite names whispered at the top of the division. Early exchanges flashed with violence. Right hands whistling past chins, left hooks thudding into guards, uppercuts scraping ribs and sternums. But boxing is not only about power, it is about positioning, balance, discipline. When Guido Vianello stepped in and met him with sharp counters, when swelling began to form around Makhmudov's eye, questions surfaced. Was he set correctly to punch? Was his stance too square? Was the distance betraying him? The roar of his right hand was still there, but now it was met with calculated discipline. Vianello boxed, moved, timed him. A sweeping right hand landed flush on that swelling eye. The damage was visible. The Lion, once the hunter, found himself navigating resistance he could not simply bulldoze. When a glove touched canvas and the referee signaled knockdown, the shift in momentum felt seismic. Combinations from Vianello found their mark, and the discipline of measured boxing began to unravel brute aggression. In the later rounds, hurt against the ropes, absorbing clean shots, Makhmudov's aura flickered. Then came the stoppage TKO. Silence for some, validation for others. For the first time, the perfect record cracked and critics sharpened their voices. Could he adjust? Could he refine the stance, the foot placement, the defensive awareness? Or was he destined to be remembered as another terrifying puncher who stumbled at the threshold of greatness? But champions, real contenders, are not defined by unbroken records. They are defined by response. Defeat can either shrink a fighter or forge him into something more disciplined, more dangerous. In interviews following the setback, there was no excuse-making, only acknowledgement and hunger. The Lion understood that power alone would not carry him to a world title. He needed sharper positioning, smarter pressure, controlled aggression that turned chaos into calculation. And then, on January 28, 2026, the announcement detonated across the boxing world. Makhmudov would face Tyson Fury on April 11, 2026, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. The Gypsy King. A master of movement, mind games, and championship rounds. For Makhmudov, it was not just a fight, it was a dream forged over years of sacrifice. He spoke of it as destiny, as a lifelong pursuit narrowing into one night beneath British skies. The Lion versus the Gypsy King. Power versus unpredictability. Pressure versus precision. Suddenly, the narrative transformed. The loss was no longer an ending, it was the prelude. If you're feeling the magnitude of this moment, if you can sense how careers pivot on nights like these, make sure you hit that like button right now, subscribe for more deep boxing breakdowns, and drop your prediction in the comments. Does raw knockout power conquer experience, or does ring IQ silence the roar? Training camps intensified. Analysts dissected Fury's lateral movement, his feints, his ability to lean, clinch, frustrate, and exhaust opponents. Makhmudov's team focused on tightening stance, improving balance under pressure, sharpening the jab as both weapon and shield. Body work, once an afterthought in pursuit of highlight reel knockouts, became a priority. You cannot chase a man like Fury recklessly, you must cut the ring intelligently, force exchanges without overcommitting. The psychological warfare had already begun, face-offs charged with tension. Fury, charismatic and towering, smirked with confidence. Makhmudov stared forward, expression carved from stone. For him this was not entertainment, it was ascension. April 11th loomed large. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium would not just host a fight, it would host a reckoning. Could the Lions' thunder shake a seasoned king? Could refined pressure break through elite defense? Or would Fury's experience stretch him into deep waters where mistakes multiply? The beauty of heavyweight boxing lies in its volatility. One clean shot can rewrite scripts. One lapse in defense can topple giants. And in that uncertainty lives magic. Makhmudov carries not just power into this clash, but redemption, ambition, and the hunger of a man who tasted defeat and refused to let it define him. Fury carries legacy, resilience, and the confidence of a champion who has risen from his own valleys before. When the bell rings in London, narratives will collide with reality. The Lion will step forward, seeking to impose will, to carve doubt into a champion's composure. The Gypsy King will glide, feint, counter, testing patience and discipline. Somewhere between brute force and strategic brilliance, history will choose its direction. And whether it ends in a thunderous knockout or a masterclass in control, one truth remains. Nights like this remind us why heavyweight boxing captures imagination like no other sport. So as we count down to this monumental showdown, stay locked in. If you love epic battles, underdog redemption arcs, and heavyweight drama at its peak, smash that like button, subscribe for non-stop fight analysis, and tell me in the comments, does the Lion shock the world, or does the Gypsy King defend his kingdom once more? The stage is set. The stakes are colossal. And when power meets legacy, only one will leave the stadium with destiny in his hands.